Alright, hey guys, it's Cairo here, and today we're going to be doing a different type of video today. This is going to be more of a story time because I had this on my mind, and earlier today I told it to one of my friends. I was like, you know what, this would totally make a pretty good story to post. So, I figure instead of like a typical Reddit style content thing, I would do one of these and see how you guys like it. Alright. This is actually about the time when I was in the third grade, I believe it was, and I got banned from art class by my teacher. So, for those of you who don't know, I am horrible at art, like absolutely terrible. My stick figures look like alternates. It's bad. So the thing about me is, since I can't draw, I often express my art through other mediums. For example, like I'm quite creative and I'm very good at describing things. Like I write a lot, right? So if I can't draw something, I will write about it in excruciating detail down to the very last like little bit of it. And then yeah, that's basically how I draw things because I can't draw, I can't like I can barely color inside the lines. It's a really a sad situation. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Either way it goes, right? So there was this assignment in the third grade art classroom, and the teacher, we're gonna call her Art Lady in case I need to refer to her again, right? So Art Lady's like, hey, we are going to do some underwater drawing thing, right? I don't really know what it's called because essentially what we had, right? Um, we had this stuff. It was in glue bottles, so I presume it was like glue with coloring inside of it, so that we can make different colors, and then I guess it's kind of raised off of the paper or whatever. I believe that's what the intention was. I'm not really sure because I mean, you'll see. Either way it goes, right? So she hands us all this glue and she's like, all right, yeah, the theme's underwater. I want you guys to make it beautiful blue, you know, the waves, seashells, all that stuff. And you know, she's trying to give us ideas of what to do. Oh boy, that was it did not go the way that she planned on it going, and it didn't go the way that I planned on it going either. But as a teacher, I know she was disappointed in me. So mind you, I was one of the gifted kids, right? So you would expect somebody with a title like that to be able to function with some glue bottles. No, no, not at all. In fact, art is like my kryptonite. If you hand a colored pencil to me, it's like handing a baby like a 50-pound weight. Nothing is going to happen. It's very sad. So anyway, stream of consciousness over. Uh, she gives us this idea, and we're supposed to work on this all week, right? And there are plenty of kids. They're making beautiful blue ocean scenes. Some kid had like a little swamp thing going on, right? You know, of course, whenever people think underwater, you know, you're little kids, the first thing you're really going to be thinking about is like sharks and fish, right? So, oh, yeah. Um, so Prince Cairo cannot draw, as mentioned, and one of the things that I really struggle to draw is like that basic fish thing. Like you guys know the one that looks like a triangle and an oval put together. Yeah, that like that little triangle oval fish thing put together. I'm assuming I could find a picture of one of them, or like try to, you know what, I'll crudely draw one for you guys and put it up in the video so you can understand like what we're dealing with here. I could not draw that for my life. In fact, I messed up multiple times, and then the teacher had to keep giving me new papers because I was like, dang, I messed up. And you know, like for whatever reason, I couldn't wrap my mind around scale. I know I was in third grade, but still, I should not be trying to fill up the entire paper with this one fish, right? Because I intended for there to be a bunch of them. And eventually, little Cairo gets the idea, the brilliant young man he is, and he's like, you know what? I can't draw a fish. So I'm gonna draw a mermaid. And yeah, no, that did not happen. If we're being honest here. So here's the thing, right? if you can't draw fish, likely you can't draw a mermaid. And oh, what do you know? I can't exactly do that. So, after failing to draw this mermaid a few times, I get this brilliant idea in that nice old gifted brain of mine. I get this brilliant idea that I'm going to put a bunch of this colored glue stuff onto the paper, right? Okay. And after I put it on the paper, my plan is to make it appear, right? So I need you to imagine for a moment there's a paper with a bunch of colorful glue on it soaking through the table. Oh, yeah, right. I should have probably told you guys too. So the way we were sitting, there are these long brown tables, and there was a kid in front of me, right? And there's like three kids on my right, and then three kids on my left, and there were kids in front of them, and there's like one kid at each end of the table. So, let's see, six. Let's see, we're thinking 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So there's about 10 kids at this table, right? And some of them are making pretty good art. Some of these kids, like, how there's children who are like naturally pretty good at art. Like, even as a third grader, you can tell, like, okay, this kid's gonna be good at art. Yeah, I had a couple of those at the table next to me, notably the one in front of me. um I feel so bad for what I did, because at the time I thought it was absolutely brilliant, but uh no, it really wasn't. So anyway, I'm gonna stop stalling now. What happens is, right, I take this glue bottle in my hands and I lay it on its side, okay, on the table, right? Okay, so imagine this glue bottle is laying on its side. My paper is right in front of it. There's kids working on their little aquatic glue thing that they've been working on all week. It's like the Wednesday or Thursday, and obviously this is due Friday. And it was so bad. It was so bad. So I in my infinite wisdom, I decide that in order to make this beautiful mermaid I have in my mind appear, I'm go- I decide in order to make this beautiful mermaid that I have in my mind appear, I'm going to okay. I decide that to make this beautiful mermaid that I have in my mind appear, I'm going to force push this glue bottle all the way across this table really fast, and it's going to just like splatter paint the best mermaid this world has ever seen on some paper. And obviously that's not what happened. I actually just made a bunch of really nasty looking multicolored streaks on the table, my paper, and the kid in front of me, and the kid next to him. So the kid in front of me, as I mentioned, was good at art. I ruined his art project because my glue bottle, covered in all the glue, obviously, did a little spin over like the main part of his art piece, and I think it was supposed to be like a seahorse or something. I don't know. I don't really remember, but it hit his seahorse. It hit his seahorse pretty bad, right? And then it obviously continues to slide because I full force push this thing as a third grader, and it hits him, and the kid freaks out and he slaps the glue bottle off of himself, trying to figure out why he was just randomly struck by a projectile. So anyway, the kid threw the glue bottle off him because he's trying to figure out why he just got struck by a projectile, right? And then that ends up getting onto the kid next to him, who wasn't very good at art. But the problem is, this kid was a girl, and the girl starts like freaking out because now there's glue on her, and her hair was long, so there was glue in her hair, right? So I have managed, while trying to create art, to ruin my art, the kid in front of me's art, his clothes, this girl's hair, and her clothes and a little bit of her art too. And then everybody's staring, obviously, right? So, since I have no shame, I'm like, uh-oh, whoops, sorry guys. And look at my masterpiece and like, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Now, I don't know why it is that I thought this was gonna work. But anyway, so the teacher, the art lady, right? She comes over and she's like, oh my goodness, Cairo, what are you doing? Oh my, oh. She's freaking out, right? And there's glue in this girl's hair. This one kid is, starting to like freak out because his beautiful art project now has a bunch of glue on it and he worked really hard on it all week. It was really bad. So, mind you, this teacher, she's upset with me, right? But she's also upset because this has happened on her watch. And as you guys might know, um, whenever a parent sends their kid to school and they don't have glue in their hair, they expect their kid to come glue free at the end of the day. And I don't know what the fate of that girl's hair was, if they managed to get it out or what happened, to be honest with you, because it was so long ago. But I like to imagine that I was on a couple of hit lists that day. So yeah, anyway, the teacher decided that little old Cairo was not in any way, shape, or form going to be allowed to ever touch anything in the art classroom aside from some colored pencils so that I could draw like a little stick figure thing of what we'd be doing that day, and then I got to write about what we were doing. And I got like my own little island away from everybody else so that I couldn't possibly ruin anything else. Yeah, so that's how I got banned from art class. Yeah. Needless to say, I'm not sure if it had any effect on me to this very day or not, but I don't really, art and I don't really mesh that well. So yeah. Um, yeah. So if you like the story, I'm kind of like one taking this, by the way, guys. Like I intend to like edit this as little as possible, so that this is like really genuine and like you guys could just kind of see how I tell stories, and from there on we can figure out like what does and what doesn't work. But I kind of wanted to do this, and it's like I should be going to sleep in now actually, but I felt like telling this story to you guys, and I didn't want to like go to sleep and be like, ah, oh, dang, what was it that I wanted to tell them? But so yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed the story, usual YouTuber stuff, like, subscribe, follow. I don't know what platform this is currently gonna be on when I'm posting this. Like I'm sure I'm going to take a part of it and put it on TikTok, and at least one part of this is going onto my YouTube shorts because I have no content, and I need that in order to survive. So yeah. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you enjoyed this, leave a comment. And if you guys want to hear more, be sure to let me know. Of course, all of my socials will be. Oh, I should probably put my link tree in the description. Well, yeah, that's going to be in the description now. That was just a note to myself, I guess. All my socials will be in the description, and if you have any stories that you would like to share, you'd like for me to read, or if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, or specific types of stories you want to hear about, please leave it in the comments down below. I will be sure to read each and every one of the comments, and yeah, if something else arises, I'll be sure to cover it. So yeah, that's all. See you guys.